What's good, YouTube? I'm Chris.
I'm Ray.
And welcome back once again to our channel. And today we're going to be reviewing top 5 convicts reacting to life sentences. So, I don't know about y'all, if y'all been to prison before or knew somebody that had been to prison, you already know what time it is.
You freaking out.
Yeah, once you get hit with a hard time, you don't know how to react. You don't know what to do. So, let's see our reactions. Let's get it.
Oh, they gonna be tight.
Indeed.
Right here in today's video, we're going to be going through the top 5 guilty convicts who started freaking out after they got sentenced to life in prison, or a really long sentence in general. Basically, criminals turned crybabies. Some really satisfying stuff, because these people in this video are complete and total pieces of shit. Before we get in this video though, if you guys don't want your butt to get nutted into in jail, make sure you like on this video. And of course, comment down below and tell me if you have any stories about somebody you know turning into a complete and total crybaby when they're trying to act all hard and shit like that. Maybe that person was you. I don't need life as I tell many stories. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel, follow me on Twitter, link down in the description. But let's go get into this top 5, which is actually a top 7. In the 7th spot, we got a man who killed a mother of 5, murdered her in cold blood, and once he figured out that he was going to serve a sentence of 50 to 100 years in prison, he absolutely lost it. He was super pissed off. I gotta say, this dude looks like a cunt real quick. And I hope he rots in prison because he's a complete and total piece of shit. I don't know what he thought, if he thought that he was going to be getting away with this or what, if that was his expectation, but screw him.
For service with this sentence. Thank you. Your Honor.
Oh my god, man.
Next, we get a man who murdered a 4-year-old boy, specifically his girlfriend's son. He actually abused this little boy to death, and then when he figured out that he was facing life in prison in court, he started
That's why I was so confused.
breaking down in tears and all that kind of shit, crying like a baby, and he's quite clearly crying because of the charges. He doesn't care about that 4-year-old boy. I mean, he's a complete and total piece of shit. This guy is not a good guy. Don't fall for that kind of stuff because he's been doing crazy shit since before he was actually a teenager. I mean, he's been involved in shoplifting, assault with a deadly weapon, car theft. He's assaulted kids in the past, including his own son instead of his stepson this time, which he murdered. And he's been involved in other shit on top of that too. It's good to see him behind bars because that's where he should be.
I don't know the details of the case. You really just want to talk with your attorney?
The man accused of abusing a 4-year-old boy, a boy who died, broke down as he was charged with murder.
So the first count is called felony murder, life without parole.
The 25-year-old suspect broke down when the charges against him were outlined by a judge today.
They're alleging you murdered one Giovanni Miajes. It is called felony murder. It is a felony.
I number 5, this is gotta be my favorite clip on this entire list just because of the reaction to this woman. It's actually
I kind of feel bad for this dude. Some pretty boy light-skinned niggas about to ruin your
Mad tattoos.
You're done.
Yo.
You gonna see no draws. You gonna be dealing with men. Don't drop the soap. Ain't gonna be fighting a lot.
Fuck that. Once you go in there and realize what's his crime is, the inmate's gonna be like, wait, you kill your what?
Yeah, little boy. They
You
gonna
kill
fuck.
your own kid, nigga?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
fuck this nigga.
Yeah, cause you know there's a lot of dudes that's in there that wish they get to see their kids. That's fucked up. Let's continue.
Yeah, I don't play that
really bad
kid
situation,
shit.
kind of a shitty situation, but I gotta be honest, I can't help but find her reaction just absolutely dead-ass hilarious. But this woman, she tried to murder her husband. She actually was part of a botched murder-for-hire plot. She tried to hire a hitman or somebody to kill her husband, which apparently she was able to find somebody to do that, and they shot her husband. The thing is, like I said, it was botched, and her husband ended up surviving that one gunshot. And she ended up being figured out for being behind all of this, and obviously she's now in court, and she was found guilty. And she's facing some heavy jail time, and well, her reaction to it is absolutely priceless. I mean, her face is insanely perfect. It's like, I'm responsible for my actions? What? Also, I'm pretty sure she's the only one on this list that doesn't start freaking out or going crazy. She just, kind of loses it and faints.
In the above atomic clause, find the defendant, Diana Jean Lovejoy, guilty of the crime of attempted murder of Greg Mulvihill, We further find true the allegation that Diana Jean Lovejoy acted willfully, deliberately, and with premeditation within the meaning of Penal Code Section 189, and that Roland K. McDavid, guilty of the crime of conspiracy to commit murder.
And then before spot, this one's a bit different from all the clips in this list, because this one doesn't involve the life sentence or a really long sentence in general. This one actually involves the death penalty, because this 19-year-old, he ended up getting convicted and got the death penalty for carjacking this woman's car. She's 23 years old, robbing her, raping her, and then murdering her.
Such a thing.
This is actually a little bit of an older clip, but there's a lot of media around this trial because of the severity of the crimes and that kind of stuff. But while this guy was getting convicted and basically sentenced to the death penalty, shortly thereafter, I believe it was his mother that started crying in the courtroom, and I guess this kind of set this dude off, and he started going kind of crazy and freaking out after, you know, he figured out that he was going to be dying, and I think that his mom crying on top of that just kind of set him over the edge. This has got to be one of the most disgusting things I've ever heard. This guy, he's 14 years old, or at least he was 14 years old at the time of this crime. He's a little bit older now, but when he was 14, he robbed, proceeded to beat and rape a 91-year-old woman. You heard me right. He robbed, beat, and raped a 91-year-old woman, and he did it all when he was only 14 years old. And obviously he's getting a decent sentence because that is some really crazy shit to do. And he, in court, after he got sentenced to 30 years in prison, started freaking out. He didn't freak out actually in court, he freaked out right after he left, when he went through the doors outside of the court. And I guess started kind of fighting the guards. You can't see anything because, like I said, it's behind the door, but you can definitely hear things going on, and also you can hear his mom crying and shit like that.
When Luis Reyes learned that he'd be in jail for the next 30 years, you knew just by his body language the bailiffs would have to hold him.
Why would you do that, though?
As the door shut, Reyes' mom wailed, and then her son screamed.
But in over number 2, we've got a 19-year-old who's in court, and he's there because he shot and killed a 21-year-old in an attempted robbery. Apparently this 21-year-old was walking home to his apartment, and this 19-year-old shot and killed him while he was trying to rob him. But he ended up getting sentenced to life without parole, which is good, because this guy is extremely aggressive. In fact, after he got sentenced to life in prison without parole, he freaked out, started moving the desk and trying to throw it and shit like that, and attacking the officers, just doing crazy shit. And they were really prepared for it. The officers were, in fact, and they subdued him extremely quickly because they literally expected it because this guy had been so aggressive in the courtroom in the past. Something that really, really annoys me about these clips is the constant families in the background that are always screaming that kind of shit. Obviously, you know, your kid just got sentenced to life in prison without parole, but like, maybe instead of being here now, you should have been there in the past and maybe taught him some values before he did something like this and ruined somebody else's life.
Yeah.
At his sentencing today, 19-year-old Shondell Jackson was facing a mandatory life term for pulling the trigger, but hoped for a chance at parole, a hope dashed by Judge Rebecca Dowd, who gave him life without parole, sparking the outburst.
And finally, this one is just despicable. This man, he is